Hi everyone, welcome. I think it might have some technical difficulties just to get started here. I don't appear to be on stream. Let's see, anyone on stream, can you hear me? No, I don't think anyone can hear me. Okay. Fun. Okay, so they can hear me. You can't see me though, can you? No, okay, so then we're seeing the same thing. All right, I'm gonna try and figure out what is going on with that. But in the meantime, I will go ahead and try to get started here and see what we can do. But yeah, welcome. Anyone here for the first time tonight? No, everyone's been here before. Excellent. My name is Melayna, and I'm a practitioner at Dharma Bum Temple, which is where you're currently sitting. And tonight I'll be leading us through some loving kindness practice. But yeah, let's see. This is a new setup, so I don't really know what to do here.
I've seen other instructors go back over there. Like, I don't know if there's like a switch you can go for the camera to turn on.
I don't know. Hey, Anna, do you know how to turn the camera on? I don't have any video right now. I have audio, but I don't have video. Do you know anything about that?
There's a remote. Is the remote there?
The remote?
And also, can you hit,
Oh, is there a remote?
hit go live? Can you hit go live on YouTube?
She's live, yeah, just over
Okay.
here.
Oh, this. Okay. Yay.
Nice. Okay.
Otherwise, I can run downstairs and see.
And then, is there an on button?
Do you want to run downstairs? I'll see if I can touch it up.
Yeah. I texted Jeff. He said just keep going, but we'll figure it out here. Let's see. What do you do? Do you do something? No.
Jeff says keep going. We'll sort it out.
All right. Okay. This is fun. All right. So we have the live podcast right now and then live in Okay. You got it. Yeah, we're going to do that. Technical difficulties. Yeah, to get started today, so loving kindness, to find a lot of ways. We have goodwill, general friendliness, compassion. Those are kind of the basis of it. But recently I came across the idea of active interest, taking an active interest in those around you, as well as and their continued, and their experience in the world, and caring whether or not they suffer, caring whether or not they're doing well, caring whether or not you're doing well. And the interest is really the point of the entire practice, is that what I found in the 2 years of practicing is that really all of this is just about paying attention. pay attention to yourself, what's going on with you, your reactions, and what's going on with the people around you. And when you have an awareness, you can kind of reduce the amount of suffering you put into the world. I mean, how many things can we solve if we just pay attention? You know, I mean, a lot of it, I think the interactions that make us angry or frustrated or upset in our day-to-day lives are just simple inattention. People not paying attention when they change lanes, someone kind of bumping into you at the grocery store, someone, they tap your car when they're parking, something like that, they're just not paying attention. And when we're not paying attention, especially to people we love, we can often miss things that are going on with them. And then if we're not paying attention to ourselves, we miss things that are going on with us. Recently, I had kind of an interesting moment when I realized I wasn't paying attention to what was going on within myself. We have we're trying to look inward. We're trying to learn what our propensities are, what our reactions to things are. And the last years, I thought I had everything figured out. Everything was going pretty smoothly. But what I came to realize is that I didn't have it all together. Recently, some relationships in my life, they changed. And I got really, really upset for no real reason. I couldn't figure it out. Why was I feeling this way? And what I was feeling grief, I was feeling loss, I was feeling all these things. I was upset, I was confused, I was angry, I was running around, complaining about it to anyone who would listen. And I didn't know what was going on. And what I figured out is that, thank you, Jeff, is that my reaction was a learned pattern that I'd gotten. And this learned pattern came from prior to practice. My relationships would just end when things changed because I was kind of a jerk about it. And so even though now that I've come to practice and that things have changed and the way my relationships have changed, my learned behaviors were still there and embedded. And I was fully prepared because there was a change in these relationships for these relationships to come to an end. Because that is what those relationships in my life have always done. They haven't evolved. They didn't move forward. And when I finally got a grip on that and realized that about myself, I was like, this is a new thing. And this is a behavior that I hadn't witnessed yet. And I did have to make some apologies. I'm not going to lie. And, but now I know that. Now I know that pattern. I know that behavior. And when I see it again, I don't have to go down the path of grief, the path of loss, the path of these feelings and overwhelm that I did this time. And so we're constantly learning. We're constantly paying attention. You have to pay attention to yourself because when you pay attention, that is when you start to see things, start to see through the delusion that causes your suffering and the suffering in others. They say that once you start to see delusion for what it is, it ceases to exist. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's the heart of the practice, really, is just paying attention to what we think, what we say, what we do every single day, and learning what we're doing. Because we do so much unconsciously, and we're so distracted, and it's difficult to bring ourselves back, and that's why we practice. I need a lot of questions in here about loving kindness. Why practice Metta? Why practice loving kindness? And really, what that is to, I always say, to take it out there. But what is it exactly that we're doing when we take it out there? We're examining our attachments to outcomes from other people. When we say in the meditation, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free from suffering.
that's a wish that we need to have for other people, because we need to let go of the expectations and conditions that we place on them. And we need, no matter what they do, no matter what they say, without expectation, we let them exist and we wish them goodwill. And we pay attention to their reactions, pay attention to our reactions. And that's what really can move us forward and let us grow as human beings. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been examining lately. Metta is to help us practice non-attachment. In each section of a meditation, I will often say without expectation, without condition. And today what I really want to focus on is, because there's 4 parts in the meditation, is not having expectations for ourselves. You know, in the story I just told, I had an expectation of the way I would behave, but I did not behave in that way. And by giving myself some forgiveness and starting to look at that, spend time with that, not dissociating from it, not ignoring it, not pushing it down, communicating that to people around me, I was actually able to grow and learn something new about myself. And when we do that, we're really showing ourselves a great amount of kindness, a great amount of patience, and forgiveness for the things we're doing. And, you know, hopefully it's going to be probably some rough water. My behavior was not great for a little bit, but I'm glad I went through it, because now things are going to be better, and I know that I can change, and I know that I can evolve. That's really the heart of what I was trying to get to today. And really today, I just want us to kind of focus on ourselves. And, you know, the way out is in. We need to know who we are, what we do, and examine it and be attentive to it and take an active interest in what we're feeling. Because oftentimes, you know, I know a lot of us will put every single other person on this planet before ourselves. And in order for us to truly come from a place of peace and kindness and wisdom and compassion, we need to set up that sort of our own little temple kind of within ourselves, where we can be and be okay with our own existence, and be okay with our own, and recognize our own Buddha nature that we all possess, so that we can begin to see it. You know, the Buddha said that we all possess Buddha nature, bodhicitta, all this feeling of goodwill towards others. We just don't always see it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sit, we're going to meditate. I'm going to talk a bit throughout. I'm going to guide us through the meditation. I do a pretty brief guidance. I don't really like to talk too much. I like to kind of leave the meat of it to you guys. But I will take us through that. And from there, we'll do what we do. Sit here, ask questions. If you have any questions on anything afterwards, just let me know. I mean, anything Buddhist related. I'll answer other questions too, but let's try and keep it appropriate. But yeah, so if you're not already comfortable, find a comfortable seated position. You may move to a cushion if you like, move to a chair. Try to keep your posture erect. Try not to lean back too much, but comfort is better than not comfort, I find. And we'll start with 3 invitations of the bell, and I will end with 3 invitations of the bell. But yeah, be good to yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. There is no thinking too much. There's no winning at meditation. Treat your practice without judgment. Do not judge your practice at all. The important thing is that you're here and that you're doing it. Everything else, you've taken the action to come in here. You've taken the action to be here for yourself today. And that's really all you really need to do at this point. So with that, go ahead and get started. Settle into yourself, settle into your body. Take 3 deep breaths slowly as we begin to settle into the practice today. We will first begin by sending feelings of goodwill, of active attention, of friendliness and kindness to ourselves. As if we do not have those feelings for ourselves, it's very difficult to send them out to others. Offer yourself the phrases without condition, without expectation, and without judgment. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now that we've sent loving kindness to ourselves, we can begin to send it out into the world. We'll start by sending the kind words to a benefactor, someone we care about, or someone who has benefited us in some way. Without condition, without expectation, without the idea of receiving anything in return, we'll offer them the phrases: may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. And now, let this person go. Bring to mind a neutral person, someone you do not know very well. This can be a grocery store clerk, a coworker, someone you see on the bus, or just someone who frequents somewhere you go a lot. Recognize that just as they suffer, you suffer as well, and you both wish to be without suffering, without condition, without expectation, without judgment. Offer them the phrases, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Let this person go. Bring to mind a difficult person. You don't necessarily have to choose the most difficult person in your life, but bring to mind someone who is irritating or currently annoying you. Recognize that just as you suffer, they suffer as well, and they wish to be without that suffering. Again, without expectation, without condition, without judgment, without the idea of receiving anything in return, offer this person the phrases: may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Let this person go. We'll now begin to send the feelings of loving kindness as far as we can to all beings in all directions. People on this side of the earth, the other side of the earth, maybe even beings in other planets. Recognize that just as you wish not to suffer, all beings wish not to suffer. And again, without expectation, without condition or judgment. Offer them the phrases, may all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease. Hey guys, welcome back. Take a moment and stretch out if you like. Clear your thoughts, kind of to come back to the space. One of the things I realized recently, because we say without expectation, and then often we think of expectations as not being met. Like we have high expectations for people, but then we're often disappointed, or we expect our children to behave in a certain way, or we expect our friends to behave in a certain way. And I started kind of framing that in terms of the difficult portion, the difficult person portion of the meditation, because we expect that person to behave badly, to behave poorly towards us, to treat us not well. And in that expectation, we could be pleasantly surprised one day. Maybe this person will take notice and not irritate us. But if we go into an interaction expecting them to be awful, it will likely be awful. That is just something I've been thinking about lately. But yeah, I would hope that we may have examined our feelings on our attachments in our lives through this meditation, which is kind of what I was going for today, because, non-attachment is the absolute, in my opinion, purest form of love. We'll say non-attachment is love. You'll hear that all the time. And you don't really realize completely what that means. You're like, yeah, it's love, but it's like that. It's the without condition part. As we treat everyone well, despite anything and everything, because that is what's going to help us and what's going to help other people. And when there's less suffering, it helps everybody. Hurt people, right? So, that's I lost my train of thought today. See, I had a total expectation that I was going to be okay today. And now my brain has decided not to work. The things I say in the mirror are so much better than the things I say up here. But yeah, I've really been examining those attachments and my expectations that I have from people. And what it really is just a general openness to the possibilities of people being different than you thought they were. And being okay with them being different than you thought they were. And it's really a joy to see new parts of people that we know, people that we don't know, and be pleasantly surprised. We go through our days judging people all day. We look at people on the street and we say, this person's this and this person's that. And then, like, for example, there's this guy, and I would probably describe him as a D-bag, as one would say in polite company, and he held the door for me. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all. And you just have to kind of give people the benefit of maybe they'll do the right thing, maybe they won't, but in giving them that space to do that, we're allowing them to do something different. And maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just act the way we expect them to. But there's always a possibility that you can be pleasantly surprised. And I think those are the moments in life that really bring kind of hope and joy and sort of an excitement, like, oh, that was really interesting. That was really great. And it's what keeps us going when we have a little bit of faith in each other. But yeah, so with that, if you guys have anything to say, whether it's any commentary about the meditation, any questions on Buddhism, any thoughts on on attachment, you talk about that if you like, and things in your life, and I will try and answer questions to the best of my ability. But as we know, Dharma Bum Temple, we are unenlightened idiots talking about our interpretation of the Dharma with unenlightened idiots. So I am an unenlightened idiot. And so if you care for my unenlightened opinion, I'm happy to give it to you. So, and that goes same for people online. I know you can't see me, but I know you can hear me. So if you would like to type something in the chat, I'm happy to respond to you as well. But with that, up to you guys.
Thank you for your topic. I found it very helpful, and I think that the universe is really just wherever I go, there this topic is, and there's a growing pain that I'm having in a couple of relationships, like a romantic relationship, and it really, I've been practicing the principles of this program, like trying to do right thought, right action, right speech, and when I don't have the right thought or speech to say, I'm waiting. And so, but even though I said it in what I thought was just a direct way, but a non-dramatic way, the person was still hurt by it. And so I'm like, kind of going back to the drawing board, going, I meditated, I slept on it, I journaled, so it's, it was really good to hear your perspective of it's growing pains for you as well, because I tend to kind of get in my head and go, how come I can't get this right, but it's just practice and starting off with kindness and then things without. Yeah, a lot of times we are pleasantly surprised. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot of right intention too. It all kind of starts with intention and view, and that's really where we begin. It's like, and then the other thing is that right doesn't mean correct. It means wise, right? That's why you often hear wise speech, wise effort, and the reason for that, and the reason you have to practice and have active interest, right, is because that's going to change. What is wise, what is right, it's not going to be the same every single time. And so it's okay to make mistakes because you're going to, because it's not going to be consistent from one situation to the next. I mean, that's, one of the three marks of existence is impermanence. All things are of the nature to change. And that's why, you have to cultivate wisdom and compassion, because that's what we're going to use to inform our decisions moving forward. And what we say, what we think, and we say, and we do. Hopefully what we think is good, but I feel like I'm not quite there yet. What I say is mostly good. What I do is mostly good. But, there's always the room for mistakes. And then that's I would say part of the sending kindness to ourselves, letting ourselves mess up, and forgiving ourselves, and not saying this is now who I am,
And it's hard, like if somebody is activated and you see that they're activated and you try to take the time to, it's just basic communication, like that they wanted me to be there at a certain time, but then at the last minute they changed it, but then they didn't. And I felt like really good around, and I'm like, okay, but it's not clear, can you tell me then what, like it was very simple, but it's still like activated, and I'm like, wait, that was not my intention, like,
Yeah.
I just need to be able to plan my time accordingly so that I can be there successfully. So like, I really did think it was that big of a deal, but I'm spending time in meditation, and okay, like, being a good is the mirrored fear or hesitation of making an error and things like that. So it's just giving grace and just giving grace, to the other, So, yeah, it's painful.
I mean, I think fear is, it's a very real thing that we all experience. The thing about fear, though, is that it's a reaction to it, right? So, don't let it stop you. I mean, it's there for a reason. It's there to stop you from doing things that are probably a really bad idea. There's a reason, like if you go like bungee jumping or something, you're like, this is dangerous. But I don't let the fear of the consequence stop me from taking the action, especially if it's something that's not real. And then also just make sure you're taking time to take a pause. You mentioned being like activated, and it's like, you have to take a little time to kind of step back. And if you have to literally physically step back, yeah.
That's like what I mean, so that I knew that, stick to the principle.
Yeah.
Treat them as you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
How they receive it is unfortunately like that's their filter,
Yeah.
So, thank you.
You're welcome. How are you doing, gentlemen? Good? Chilling? Hanging out on this chilly Wednesday night.
My sleep plan is dying.
Sorry.
I mean, she's like frozen, like got like leaves on her hand. She's like, no, it's okay.
It's all right.
They'll fall off the green.
It is basically winter, so that will happen.
I forget,
Can you talk about the ways you practice non-attachment? I struggle with, like, I've heard, no expectations, just kind of love people as they are, don't try to force your ideas onto them. And that all makes perfect sense. I'm just like, it's hard, like, how do you practice that?
Yeah. Um, yeah. How do we practice non-attachment? Very, it's, to be honest, it's very difficult. It's been something that, like, as you mentioned, it's very simple. It's very easy to grasp. So, like, the logical way to do it, but actually putting it into your life is, it's a lot more difficult. And I think that really just comes back to, like I said, attention and awareness, being aware of how you're receiving people and how you're reacting to them. Because the only thing we can control are our actions, right? We can't control anything anyone else does. We can't control anything anyone else says. And so what we are trying to do essentially is to not resist what is. So people are going to do what they're going to do what they're going to say. You can control how you react to that. And when you become aware of what your automatic reaction is, whether that be anger or resentment or frustration, like, in the situation I was describing, I didn't understand what was happening at first. I was like, I have these emotions. What is going on here? What's truly happening underneath all of this? And when I got down to why I was feeling overwhelmed, it was something that was, it was a deep, deep hurt that I had from these experiences before that I hadn't even been conscious or aware of. And now that I've looked at it, examined it, and identified it, now I know what it is. So, just hypothetically, you have coworkers, right? And occasionally, do they mess up what you're trying to do at work? Yeah, all the time. You're like, I've got a plan here, and I'm gonna execute it. And they're gonna come in and be like, oh, what is this? Right? Just be open to the idea that maybe their plan might work and maybe the outcome will still be fine. Even though, your plan was admittedly very, very good and would have worked just fine. But there's no guarantee that it would happen because there's always going to be other people, especially in a co-working environment. And you have other people who have their hands in the pot, right? A lot of people are making the soup. Someone's going to throw in a little pepper. Someone throws in a salt. Someone else throws in more salt. Oh, no. How do we deal with this? How do we move forward? How do we move past it? Because you can sit there and be frustrated in the moment. It's like it's the second arrow. You guys know about the second arrow? It's like, guy gets hit with an arrow, right? And he's sitting there, he's bleeding to death. And he's like, no one can take this arrow out until I figure out who shot this arrow, right? And then you're stuck there, you're suffering, bleeding to death. It doesn't matter who shot the arrow. The point is, you got to move forward. And so now the circumstances have changed. The causes and conditions are doing their thing. And you move forward from there. So it's just saying, like, okay, I have an expectation for this. You have to be okay with letting that expectation go. That's really all it is. It's just being open to a new set of possibilities. Enacting that in life is difficult because we want to have expectations for people. We want to have expectations for people in our lives. We want people to treat us a certain way. And it's okay to have those wants. It's okay to have those desires. But just don't go to pieces when it doesn't happen. That's really all it is. It's just controlling your reaction to it. We're not, we're not cold, unfeeling machines. We have feelings, we have emotions. We want to be safe. We want to be happy. We want to be healthy. We want to be free from suffering, right? And everyone else wants that too. And we're just a little confused on how to get there. We don't always agree on that. But allowing things to change, because they will change. That's, 3 marks of existence are suffering, impermanence, and non-self. Those are the 3 things that do not change. The only thing that doesn't change is that everything changes all the time. So being willing to accept that and kind of be with that. And it's really difficult, just for us as human beings. We want things to be certain. We want things to be comfortable. We want things to be safe. And they just aren't. And when we come to terms with the idea that we can feel an idea of safety even within the uncertainty in the world, that's going to lead us to suffer less. That's going to lead us to not be attached to outcome so much. It's really just being attached to a certain outcome and like an adamant refusal to accept anything else. And that's just us trying to control everything. So when we need, we can really, and that comes from the idea, and then the other idea is that people who do things to you that you don't like generally are not trying to piss you off. Most people that piss you off or irritate you on a day-to-day basis, that's not their goal. They're just trying to live their lives, They didn't see your car. They didn't know. I mean, some people probably are. Well, I'll give everybody that. But most people, not trying to piss you off. Just don't take things personally. I took everything personally. Why is this happening to me? Why are people doing this to me? It's like they're just doing this to me or only doing this to me. Nobody likes me because of this. No one likes me because of that. They don't do this and they don't do that. Who cares what they do? Do what you do. Go through your life. Do the best you can. And try to suffer less tomorrow than you did today. And that's really the whole thing. And that's part of, the metta practice is understanding that we're all suffering. It's a mark of existence. Life is suffering, discontent, whatever you want to say. But it is the way that we deal with that and the way that we cope with the reality that we find ourselves in. Another part of it is just like perception. None of us are perceiving this moment in the same way. And none of us can even truly perceive ourselves. And we can't perceive ourselves the way anyone else perceives ourselves. There's a million versions of each of us out in the world. And they're through every single other person on this planet's eyes. There's just lenses, right? There's the person you are sitting here right now. There's the person you are at work. There's the person that you appear to be on Instagram. Nobody likes kayaking that much. I hate to break it to you. And you know what? Neither of you gentlemen are holding a fish right now. So I don't know. I don't even know what to think. So it's like they all have fish on the internet. But that's the thing, is that these are the lenses that we're viewed. And so, nothing is consistent. And so it's like, you just kind of have to know that the way you're seeing someone is not the way they see themselves. And it's not the way another person sees them, another person sees them. We're all a million different people. And so because everything is constantly moving, having an expectation for it to just be a thing always and forever is unreasonable. And so I just had to learn to let go. I mean, I held on to relationships so tightly that, like, literally, there are people who, if I were to call them right now, would freak out, because I've just been such a toxic person in the past, and that's who they see me as still. But all of you don't know that version of me, thankfully. But that's just better for you overall. But that is the practice, and that's not attachment. And that's the way I view it. That's the way I practice it. It's just saying, you know what? I really wanted this one thing to happen, but it's okay that it didn't. Or sometimes that thing that didn't happen is the best thing that happened, because it opens you up to an entirely new set of possibilities you didn't even believe was possible. So just knowing that there can be, even in the, because that's the way karma works, right? Karma is just something happens and something else happens, right? Good things do not necessarily mean good things, and bad things do not necessarily mean bad things. I think, perfect example, I got fired in 2024, right? I've been bouncing around looking for a real job for 15 months. But what I realized is that I've had 3 jobs since then. And I realized that the people at that job treated me like crap. And my working environment now is 1,000 times better and more positive, and I don't have to be bullied every day. So that's actually one of the best things that ever happened to me. But in that moment, it was terrible. You know, it was completely taken off guard. But it has caused so many good things to come out of that. And that's just the way karma works. And so, but if we sit there and we wallow in the things that happen that we don't like, and we say, this was terrible, and we keep telling ourselves that story that this was awful, this is bad, I'll never feel good again, then this is awful, and this is bad, and we'll never feel good again. So it's just taking away our moderating our reactions. And sending goodwill to other people helps a lot, you know, especially because it's like, even when we don't want to, because it's easy to be kind to the people that we like, but being kind to strangers, being kind to people we don't like, or who've done bad things to us, that's the real meat of the practice. But, you know, that's where you're really going to find growth, because those are the moments that are going to surprise you. And those are the moments that are going to give you that little bit to say, like, oh, you know what? Maybe we are all in this together. Because that's the other basis to the practice. And I'll wrap up just after this. I know we're going a little over. But dependent origination. That we are all connected, every single being in this universe. And whether we want to admit it or not, the little things we do have a massive effect. And we exist through an amazing amount of circumstances and causes that are completely out of control. Like, you're out of our control. Like if you can look this up, there's a biological statistic. Like, the odds of your own individual existence are like 1 in 300 billion or 30 billion or something like that. Right? I'm probably not quoting it right, but it is a biological statistic. I got it right on the test, but it was several years ago. And that's like the odds of like your parents meeting, and then their parents meeting, and their parents' meeting, and like the earth forming an oxygen-rich atmosphere. Like, all those odds, all those certain circumstances came together, and now you're sitting here. That's incredible. And probably something bad happened along the way there, but all of these other things happened as a result. And so having the expectation in individual moments saying, this is good, this is bad, doesn't make any sense, because everything, we don't know where the dominoes fall, and we don't know what's really going to happen. We can think we know, we can make some predictions, you know, like we're probably all going to leave in an orderly manner and and our shoes are probably still there. Probably. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that would be good. I really like those shoes. Thank you so much for being here. With that, I will close. If you are comfortable, please bring your hands to heart center. May any merit gained from this practice here today be transferred to all beings in all directions. May they be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. And may they be free from suffering. And before y'all head out, Anna has an announcement.
Hello, everyone. I am tonight's host, Anna.
We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery center that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you're done with it. Please straighten your seat or cushion before you